Hello everybody, and welcome to July 3rd, 2016 edition of the Ephrom Josine Show. I am your host, Ephrom Josine. Let's start off this episode. I said I'd talk about it yesterday. Let's talk about it now. John Oliver, the host of Last Week Tonight, recently did a segment on gene editing, which I am in favor of, I support, I think can be a tool for very good things. However, while Oliver didn't take a I don't like it approach, he instead took some fear-mongering that I still feel needs to be addressed. Most notably, he starts talking about how it can be a tool for good, however, how we need to be careful with it. And to prove it, he uses a scientist who has helped create this technology, talking about a dream she had, where, she sees Hitler supporting this technology. And for that matter, Oliver does this thing where it's like, oh, it's true after every clip he plays. And this one especially bothered me. It's true, she had a dream where she saw Hitler support the technology. I wasn't doubting that, but does that really make it valid? I've had weird dreams before that shouldn't be taken seriously. Subconscious does weird things. Fears aren't always rational, John. And for that matter, I just want anyone who thinks that that's a valid point, talk to people who have genetic diseases that can't be cured because they're purely genetic. Go up to somebody who has type 1 diabetes and tell them, we may have been able to fix you, to cure you, but a woman had a dream where she saw Hitler, so sorry. And again, I still like John Oliver. I just feel he sort of went off the spectrum. It's weird, too, because he essentially ignored all the fear-mongering for vaccines. But when it comes to genetic modification, no, that's too new, it's too scary, even though typically anti-vaxxers and the anti-gene editing crowd are the exact same people. Just saying, John. Anyway, a few days ago, Dinesh D'Souza released the official theatrical trailer in HD on his YouTube for his new movie, Death of a Nation, in which he compares Donald Trump to Abraham Lincoln. Still a little bit of a stretch, but okay. I've not seen the trailer yet. I have it pulled up on my laptop. I'm going to watch it in front of you all, and I'm just going to react to it. You can go watch the trailer yourself. I should note, I have seen Hillary's America. I reviewed it over on my blog, ephromjosine.blogspot.com. You can go find it there. It wasn't very good. I think Dinesh D'Souza is probably one of the worst documentaries I've ever seen. I would say he's kind of the left's Michael Moore, but that's insulting to Moore. Because at least, as far as I'm aware, Michael Moore has never directly faked anything. He's messed with things quite a bit, but he's never directly lied. And I've seen Dinesh lie all the time. But, okay. So, he starts the trailer, he just immediately dives into it, like, Abraham Lincoln was elected, Democrats killed them, and now they hate Donald Trump. I'd recommend Googling guilt by association, because that's what this is. Dinesh then shows some clips of Democrats calling for Lincoln to be impeached, or Trump to be impeached, not Lincoln. I was going to get to the point. Lincoln was never impeached. Johnson came close, but, that's a little nitpick. And they say they call him racist. Well, if you're trying to make him a second Lincoln, Lincoln was, as far as I'm aware, not really called a racist very often. In fact, he was called literally the exact opposite. But then, Dinesh ponders his greatest ponder. Who really are the real racists? Wait, didn't you spend the entirety of Hillary's America asking that question? Yeah, for a movie about Hillary Clinton, it wasn't really about Hillary Clinton, just saying. And you've already answered that. And for that matter, how about this? We'll pretend you're right. And there has never been any ideological shifts in history. I'll give you that. I'll pretend you're right on that. Can we at least acknowledge that maybe for every, I don't know, John C. Calhoun or Jefferson Davis in the Democratic Party, there's a Strom Thurmond or a Jesse Helms in the Republican Party? The only difference, by the way, is Helms and Thurmond came a century later, but, we'll ignore that. I don't believe most of my political opponents are racist. Dinesh wants to paint it like that and then call me a racist. Oh, why liberals? They just call everything racist. By the way, they're racists. Do you not see the issue here? He then ponders, who are the real fascists? Again, I don't believe most of my political opponents are fascists. I don't. I honestly don't. But if you want to bring up Hitler and Mussolini, well, they were defeated by a little guy named Franklin Delano Roosevelt. You may have heard him, the Democratic president who set up Social Security and created a New Deal, one of the biggest government projects of its day. Oh, but, he may have done one or two questionable things, therefore throw it all out. Why can't we have Social Security? Well, FDR had Japanese internment camps. That's a complete non sequitur. And again, everyone I don't like is racist. By the way, the liberals call everybody they don't like racist. And by the way, you know who was also a good part about helping the Allies win the Second World War? Another guy, you may have heard of him, and I don't like this guy for the record. I think he was a horrible person. He may have even been worse than Hitler. But, Joseph Stalin, maybe? I mean, Churchill did run as a conservative, but if you actually look at his policy, he had like an incredibly high tax rate during World War II. I think it was well over 90%. I think it was around the same level as Roosevelt set up. So we really have this moderate conservative, this social democrat, and this downright communist. And those were the big forces that helped win World War II. But no, Hitler said he was a liberal, and as we all know, Hitler was known for his honesty. He then ponders, which party attacks our freedom of speech, our religious liberty, and our personal safety? We know what this is going to be at this point. My response to all three of these goes something along the lines of, by the way, Pompeo's the one who called for Julian Assange to be executed. Wait, no, Assange, not Assad. Just saying, and he is currently the Secretary of State under you guys as president. Religious liberty, there are some examples I can throw out. I do sometimes agree with what the Republicans say on Islam, but that's a very different story, and there are a lot of people who just want to actively nuke the Middle East. Let's not deny that. Or who just want to invade. We need to invade these random Middle Eastern countries. Why? They're Muslim. Again, I don't even think they're a majority, but you can't deny. If you are going to focus on the communists, I'm going to focus on these random rednecks in Alabama or wherever. Okay? Okay. Anyway, that's it. I'm Ephrom, and good night.